in the deep southern lands of Mississippi, where the sun burned the red soil and history carried the scars of inequality. A baby girl took her first breath in 1954. Her name was Oprah Gayle Winfrey. She came into the world not surrounded by comfort or privilege, but by silence, poverty, and the shadow of segregation. No one could have imagined that this fragile child, born to a teenage single mother, would one day become one of the most powerful women on earth. Oprah's beginnings were not painted in gold. They were written in dust and determination. She grew up in a wooden house without running water, without toys, without the comfort most children take for granted. Her grandmother, Hattie Mae, dressed her in potato sack dresses because they couldn't afford clothes. The other children laughed. But even as tears filled her eyes, there was something in her heart that whispered, "You are meant for more." In church, she found her first audience. At just 3 years old, she stood before the congregation, her small voice echoing with verses from the Bible. The elders called her the little preacher. They didn't know it yet, but that voice, so pure, so honest, would one day inspire millions. Yet, for every light that glowed in her life, darkness always seemed to follow. When she was 9, her innocence was shattered. She faced abuse, again and again, from those who should have protected her. And like so many black girls in that era, she suffered in silence. Society didn't want to hear her pain. The world was cruel to poor black women. It demanded strength from them, but gave them no protection. Their voices were dismissed, their dreams ignored. But Oprah refused to let silence define her. She carried her wounds like invisible armor. She learned to speak even when her voice trembled. Years passed, and she was sent to live with her strict father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville. He wasn't gentle, but he was disciplined. He made her read a book every week. He told her, "Words are your power, Oprah. Learn them. Use them." She didn't know it yet, but those words were the seeds of her destiny. Books became her refuge. In the pages of literature, she found freedom. She traveled through worlds where skin color didn't limit possibility, where women could speak without fear. And from that moment on, she made a vow to herself. She would never be silenced again. At 17, she entered a public speaking contest. Her voice, strong, emotional, alive, won her the first prize and a full scholarship to Tennessee State University. That was the spark that lit her path. She began working in radio, her voice reaching ears she had never met, her story touching hearts she had never seen. But success didn't come easily. When she first appeared on television as a young black woman, she faced rejection after rejection. Executives said she wasn't polished enough, light enough, or neutral enough. They told her to smile more, to speak less from her heart. They wanted her to blend in. But Oprah was never meant to blend in. Each failure carved her character. Each humiliation became a lesson. And each no only pushed her closer to her purpose. Her big break came when she was offered to host a morning talk show in Chicago, AM Chicago. It was a small, struggling program, but Oprah walked into that studio with her whole heart. Instead of pretending to be perfect, she chose to be real. Instead of talking at people, she listened to them. She cried when they cried. She laughed when they laughed. She didn't perform. She connected. Within months, AM Chicago became the highest-rated show in the city. Viewers saw themselves in her. Women, especially black women, saw hope reflected in her eyes. She was proof that dignity could rise from the dust, that a voice once silenced could echo across the world. Soon, the Oprah Winfrey Show was born. It became a phenomenon, broadcast in over 100 countries, watched by tens of millions of people every week. But Oprah didn't use her platform for fame. She used it for healing. She opened the stage for real stories, for pain, for survival, for transformation. She brought subjects like abuse, forgiveness, and self-worth into the light. She looked into the eyes of broken people and told them, "You are not alone. You are worthy." Behind the success, Oprah built an empire. She founded Harpo Productions, launched the Oprah magazine, and became the first African-American woman billionaire. But her true wealth wasn't in money. It was in impact. Every woman she lifted, every child she inspired, every soul she reminded to dream. That was her true fortune. In 2007, she opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa, giving young girls the chance to learn, to dream, and to rise. When she visited those students, she saw reflections of her younger self, girls wearing secondhand clothes, yet holding first-class dreams. She told them, "Your past does not define you. What matters is what you believe you can become." Throughout her journey, Oprah carried the memories of her ancestors, Black women who cleaned houses, who bent under the weight of injustice, who whispered prayers for a future they might never see. She became the answer to those prayers. Even with fame and riches, she never forgot the little girl from Mississippi who once wore potato sacks. Because that girl taught her everything. She taught her resilience. She taught her empathy. She taught her that no matter where you start, you can write your own ending. Oprah often says, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." And that's exactly what she did. She transformed every scar into strength, every setback into fuel, every rejection into redirection. Today, Oprah is not just a billionaire or a celebrity. She is a symbol of endurance, courage, and transformation. She represents what is possible when you believe in the power of your own voice. She has shown the world that success is not about what you have, but about what you give. Her message continues to echo across generations. You can rise, you can heal, you can create the life you dream of. And so, if you are listening to this, and life has tried to silence you, if people have told you that your dreams are too big, if you've been told you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, remember Oprah. Remember the little girl who refused to bow to her pain. Remember the woman who turned her tears into triumphs. Remember that your story isn't over. Your beginning does not determine your destiny. Your pain is not your prison. Your voice is not your weakness. It's your weapon. So protect it, use it. Speak your truth. Because somewhere, someone needs your story to find strength in their own. Oprah once said, "The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams." So start today. No matter where you are, no matter what has happened, stand up, clean the dust off your mirror, and see yourself again. You are not broken. You are becoming. And like Oprah, you too can rise from silence to greatness. Because the world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real, to be brave, and to never let anyone silence the fire that burns within you. If this story touched your heart, share it, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel. And remember, your next chapter begins the moment you choose to believe in yourself.